All right, guys, welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is Ali Plays, and today we're going to be ranking all the fusions in Raid Shadow Legends from how many fusions were there? So there are 10 fusions so far that we had in Raid Shadow Legends that are time limited fusions. So I'm not going to be ranking Broadmaw, Relic Keeper, or Rosin Scarhide on this list. So it's just going to be the time limited fusions, the ones that are only available for a couple of weeks. I'm going to be ranking them from the worst to best, and we're going to start off at the bottom. And yeah, let's get started. All right, so coming in at number 10, we have Lika. You guys, a lot of you guys probably have forgotten about this, but this did actually happen. I don't know if you guys are even playing the game. Like, some of you guys probably weren't even playing the game when this happened, but Lika was actually a time limited fusion. Like, why, right? It's like, why? His first epic that was actually ever been a time limited fusion. So Lika, I would actually rate her as a worst fusion. She does have pretty good multipliers on her attacks, but she's not worth a fusion in my opinion. Her A1 is always a critical hit. I mean, maybe if people want to play around with using her, I think that she might be pretty good, but she doesn't have AoEs or anything. She's just a single target attacker, and there are obviously better options. She has actually one AoE here. My mistake, guys. Bruh. If you want to utilize them, I've seen people run them in Arena when the fusion first came out. They were running her. I think the reason why they actually released her is because Sakara came out right after the fusion. Because for the longest time, that her passive ability, we knew that she had a sister. It gets revived whenever she dies. So I saw people using her in Arena for that, but it doesn't really work, man. I just killed both of you guys. Wanted to come back to life, kill you guys again. So yeah, in my opinion, I think that she is the worst fusion that we've had so far in Raid Shadow Legends. And yeah, let's move on, guys. All right, number 9, we have Skull Lord Varg. So he is he is the most recent fusion that we had in Raid Shadow Legends. When I first saw this guy, I was really excited about him. And then when you go into the game, you see that his base stats are amazing base stats. Look at the 107 base speed. Everything is very high. Sorry, guys, it's raining right now, so it might be... I don't know if you guys can hear it or not in the video, but yeah, nothing I control. And yeah, his base stats are very high. His defense base, I was really excited because Skullsworn is one of my favorite rare champions in the game. So when I saw they're going to make a Skull Lord Varg, who's basically the Lord of the Skullsworns, I was really excited. I've actually done a video on him if you guys want to test it out. I think I've done a video on most of the fusion champions except for one of them, and I will discuss why I wasn't able to do that later on. So yeah, this guy basically, he just stands there. He's very hard to kill, but he just stands there and he brings Skullsworns to life. So it's unfortunate, even his... Like, he would actually kind of redeem himself if he actually had an AoE provoke, but he has a single target provoke. So he's not really doing much for your team. I've seen some people in my comment section saying, oh, Skull Lord is good. Trust me, dude, he's not good, man. He's not good. I don't care, early game, late game, mid game, whatever, man. This guy's not good. Maybe Faction Wars, he might be able to do something, but that's about it. So yeah, he will get reworked, and I don't want to hear you guys saying that he should not get reworked. This guy should get reworked. And if you guys are saying that he's not going to get reworked, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. He's probably trolling. So this guy's fusion, the way that it worked was you had to get a whole bunch of Skullsworn, so it took a lot of farming. It was all RNG based, which is an issue in my opinion. I mean, for me it wasn't an issue. It was pretty easy for me to get. The drops were good, but I know some people spend a lot of energy and were not able to get him. But I guess he is pretty easy to get free to play over time. I think it was a 3 weeks time period to get him. So it is doable, but you have to use all your energy towards that campaign location. Towards Sewers of Arnok, I believe, is where you get him. So yeah, that's why he's number 9 on my list. It wasn't any fun getting him, and it wasn't fun showcasing him. I guess we had some good times with the laughs because of how bad he was, but that's about it. So I guess he's like a meme now. So yeah, he's a Vault Guardian now, but hopefully he can get reworked and he can see some use. All right, number 8, we have Foley. So Foley, Hal Hades has been showing that Foley is actually a very good champion in Arena, and I've actually faced him a couple times in Arena. Yeah, he's actually pretty good, so I was actually mistaken. I don't think he's the worst, one of the worst legendaries in the game anymore. But he actually was, though. But now he is not. The reason why I have Foley this low on the list is because there was actually a huge fiasco with his fusion, where Plarium made it very, very easy to get the first 3 champions needed to fuse Foley. And for the last event, they actually didn't even announce it before. Like, they weren't they weren't transparent. They didn't show us all the events that were coming out. And then the last event was a summoning event. I believe it was a summoning event. And then they had Centurion. I believe it was Centurion, the Void rare champion. So they had Centurion, and in order to get him, you actually had to have a lot of points in the summoning event. And that was actually the first time we actually had a summoning event that hard. And we actually had a huge issue with a lot of the YouTubers and content creators. So they kind of gave Foley a bad rap. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I actually despised Foley for a bit because of that situation. I know I did get him, but I did not like how Plarium dealt with that situation. But the good thing is, we actually did get some good from that bad. The good thing is we actually got the Rosin Scarhide fusion. I think they were just going to give us Broad Moss, so now we had basically a free-to-play fusion, so you don't have to rush to get him. Rosin Scarhide, I would definitely recommend getting him. And yeah, from that, we actually did get Rosin. So I guess that is good, but he is ranked pretty low on my list as fusion events go. All right, guys, so I actually totally forgot that there was another fusion. There was another St. Patrick's Day fusion. The reason why I forgot, because I just started when this guy actually was a fusion when he came out. I just missed it. So there was like a week left for the fusion, and then I started playing this game, and I couldn't get it. But there was no issue with that. So there's actually going to be 11 fusions on this list now. So number 8 is Shamrock now, and Foley was number 9. Sorry about that. But yeah, everything else should be okay from now. So Shamrock was really, really bad. A lot of people despise having him. He was actually not that easy to get because a lot of people are relatively new. Shamrock is way too RNG dependent, and that's the reason why a lot of people don't like using him. He did get reworked. He's not as good, but he does have some niche uses. I've seen people like Murder Inc. utilize him in Clan Boss, but that's about it. Like, where else are you going to use him? So that's the reason why he is ranked low on my list. And yeah, let's move on to the next champion. So yeah, another St. Patrick's Day champion. I don't know what it is with Plarium and St. Patrick's Day champions being not that good. But the thing is, though, just because he's not good doesn't mean he can't utilize him anywhere. I mean, he's a very good choice for faction wars, and that's about it. I believe that if his affinity was Spirit, he might be better because you can actually use him in Fire Knight's Castle, which is what his kit actually looks like. It's what it's good for. He does have a lot of RNG, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Honestly, man, I don't really like him. I think that he's not that good for a fusion champion, especially for a legendary. I mean, I know there are some people that like him. Well, that's great. You guys can like whatever champions you want. But for me, I think that his fusion was pretty bad. The only reason why I actually did his fusion is because I actually had all the champions needed to get him. I think I was missing one, and then I summoned, and I got the epic champion that I needed. So that's the reason why I actually did it. And yeah, I don't think he is that good. His fusion was actually, like, I'll give it to Plarium. His fusion was actually pretty easy to do for a lot of the players. So a lot of people, this might have been your first fusion. So apologies. All right, next up we have Harvest Jack. So he was a Halloween fusion. When people saw this guy, he's HP based. He does damage based on HP. People were expecting him to be a Sir Nicholas. But the thing is, though, he actually hits like a wet noodle. But he's a very, very good crowd control champion. So that was one of the issues, that we were seeing him through a different lens. We were seeing him as a damage dealer, but that's actually not his role. So he was actually pretty good when people started to use him for his specific role. So I did actually see a lot of people use him in Platinum Arena when he first came out, because he's one of those champions, one of the first champions that actually had fear on their kit. So yeah, he has an AoE True Fear. So he is very good. He has a very high base speed, high HP. I don't know if people utilize him that much anymore. I mean, honestly, guys, he's in my vault, but for faction wars, I do use him. But he's still in my vault. You don't have to have them in your main roster in order to utilize them. So yeah, his fusion wasn't that bad. And yeah, I guess he's in the middle of the pack right now. All right, so this was a surprise one when it first came out. I'm not saying that he's actually worse than the champions that are ahead of him, but his fusion was an extreme fusion. So maybe some of you guys would actually rate this fusion lower because it was an extreme fusion. Extreme meaning that it was actually very difficult to get without spending any money. And that's the reason why I did not actually get Brackets a Shifter, unable to do it. It was very hard because you needed, I think it was old Void champions and they're all new champions that were just released in the game, if I recall correctly. So the thing is, though, a lot of people are saying that this guy wasn't good when he first came out. I was actually saying that he is good. And now that Rotos has arrived, people are saying that he is good now. So he's actually a very good champion. He's got like 6. He's got one attack that is like 6 hits right there. He has an increased attack buff for all allies for 3 turns, and then he attacks one enemy 3 times. I mean, his kit is very good. I don't know why people thought he wasn't that good, but the only issue is that his fusion was very, very difficult. So that's the reason why he is ranked lower on my list. And if his fusion was a little bit easier, it wasn't extreme, he would be 1 spot higher. He would be higher than the next champion I'm going to be talking about right now. All right, so next champion is the first dwarf champion that we got as a fusion. Molly Tankard, like, to me, she really helped me progress. So during that time, I wasn't running Dragons 20, Ice Golems 20, or any of those 20 stages. She actually helped me progress. I think she was a very good champion to help a lot of people get through harder content like the dungeons. And the reason being is that she has an AoE provoke, which took a lot of pressure off of my team, and which allows them to actually do some damage instead of getting killed. And she also has a revive on her, so she is a support. Obviously, you can see that she says support up here under the legendary tab. So she does have a revive, and she fills turn meter by 50%, and she also plays the block damage on the ally for 1 turn. Her passive is very nice as well. She fills the turn meter of allies when she gets hit, so it's very synergistic with her A2 Brawl ability. Yeah, so for me, Molly, I would probably rate her even higher, but I can't because the rest of the champions coming up are very, very strong. So now Molly is here. And I want you guys, let me know down in the comment section, what do you guys think about Molly Tankard fusion now? All right, so the next one is Sir Nicholas. So I actually was not even here when the Sir Nicholas fusion happened. I wasn't playing the game. The reason why this is not number 1 is because this fusion came out, I think it was during beta of this game. So a lot of people were not able to get it. And the champions needed were pretty easy to get, considering rarities and such. But the issue is, back then, people didn't have all those champions, so they didn't have a roster filled with champions. And even for those people, it was hard for them to get Sir Nicholas without spending to get the shards. I think Grandmaster was one of the champions needed to get Sir Nicholas. And yeah, let's get this out of the way. So a long time ago, I actually said that Sir Nicholas is coming back. And the reason why I was saying that, I wasn't just saying it by myself. The reason why I was saying that is Marius from Plarium, people were asking him if they can extend the fusion for Sir Nicholas. And he said that he would be coming back during the holidays. So everybody expected us to get Sir Nicholas in December 2019. That's what the fusion that we thought we were going to get was Sir Nicholas. And I actually did get a lot of flack on that. It's not my fault. I was just reporting and telling people how to get Sir Nicholas and also giving them the fusion requirements. So yeah, I did get a lot of flack for that just because of something that Plarium said and then they went back on. So yeah, so he would be actually higher if he was easier to get or if they brought him back. All right, number 2, we have Rotos. For me, Rotos is number 1. This guy is literally broken. Like, I can show you guys right now how broken he is. You're like, give me a sec, I'll show you guys how broken this guy is. So if you go to English to Spanish, so Rotos is a Spanish name or word. If you write Rotos in Spanish, Rotos, the translation is broken. So this guy is literally broken. That's actually hilarious. Plarium's got some humor, man. I think that is hilarious. So yeah, this guy is literally broken, but I can't place him number 1 as a fusion. I did like it that his fusion had some very good epics as well, Sepulchre Sentinel being one of them. I think it was Reliquary Tender being in the rares. There's a lot of good champions that you can get instead of getting Rotos for the people that are free to play. He is very good. Obviously, I think he does a lot of work for a lot of people in many areas of the game, not only in Arena, but he is a big game changer in Arena. And for a while, people did not know how to combat this guy, and they did not know that his weakness is actually weak hits that are multi-attacks. So Brachus, this is where Brachus comes in. Brachus does 6 hits. Brachus can literally 1 turn Rotos. He can just hit him 6 times with that one ability, and Rotos is dead. So yeah, in my opinion, I would actually put this guy higher, but I have to discuss why he is not higher. So let's go to the next champion. So the next champion, number 1, is the fusion is Torm in the Cold. So this was the Christmas fusion that we got instead of Sir Nicholas. This guy's, the reason why I did not put Rotos at number 1 is because this guy completely changed the meta when this guy came out. Completely changed it. He actually had to get nerfed like pretty quickly. This guy was freezing people just by looking at him. If you look at this guy, you're frozen, man. You can't even do anything. Even like artifacts, like if you have let's say you had a shield set, you get a buff from it. All you guys are frozen right away when they enter the fight because of his passive ability. They did fix him, but I still think he is still broken. I mean, Rotos obviously can't counter. He can one-shot him, and he can't revive. But for this guy completely changed the arena meta, which was hard to do. The game for a whole year was speed meta. This guy changed it. If somebody runs Arbiter right away, they go first. They speed boost, and then everybody on their team's frozen after that. So it is pretty hilarious. Also, it required a lot of people to change how they play the game. Instead of building speed, they had to build different stats that we actually never in the history of Raid have ever built. Resistance is one. We actually had to build resistance. We had to change the game. So people started going slower when Torm came out. They didn't have very fast arena teams. Defense-based teams were very good. People started using block debuffs. Block debuffs was not a big thing before in arena, and now it is. And it still is, I believe. And yeah, Torment is still prevalent, and I think he will be for a long time. And that's why I have to give Torment number 1. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for the video. Let me know down in the comment section. Do you guys agree with my ranking? I know I did kind of mess up. There are actually 11 fusions, but I figured that out while I was recording the video. So yeah, that's it. That's going to be it for the video. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, and yo, we hit 7,000 subscribers, guys. I completely forgot about that. So thank you guys for that. 8K next. And thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.
I'm Tyrone. I need everybody to subscribe to the homie Ali Al Plays. And that's non-negotiable either.